All right, happy Sabbath, family. I'm Brother Desmond.
I'm Brother Al. That's Al.
We are the Vineyard of Israel, and we want to say happy Sabbath to all. And we're coming to you again with another Download of Doctrine update. I thought about the lame leg episode.
Yeah, I didn't get much feedback. I think it was crossing the line a bit. Maybe.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe the
In
people
the
will warm up to
though,
it. Yeah.
This will be that.
So we'll continue down this path today, and Pastor, I want to do somewhat of a follow-up to the episode that was last done about Isaiah 28.
Yeah.
Precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. Yeah. In that episode, I made a comment. It was somewhat of a primer that we were going to come and look at something else in Isaiah.
Right.
So I made a few challenges in that episode. One of the challenges was I asked for a second witness for the here a little, there a little doctrine, or how we get knowledge.
Yes.
And so that's still out there, by the way. How we get truth, wisdom, understanding in the scriptures. And the basis of that is, essentially the misunderstanding or misinterpretation or misapplication of Isaiah 28, where we assume that we go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, and that's how we achieve a level of truth and understanding in the scriptures. We went through and put on the table that that's not at all what Isaiah was in fact talking about.
Right.
But in that, I mentioned Isaiah the 8th chapter because there was a thought that a second witness to the here a little, there a little is Isaiah the 8th chapter.
Yeah, but that would make Isaiah his own witness.
Right.
Isaiah can't be his own witness.
Aha.
Yeah.
Problem number one.
Yeah.
But for the folks that don't understand that, I still wanted to take some time to address Isaiah the 8th chapter, because even that is misunderstood.
Right.
Even that's misunderstood. And so the problem is that it's misapplied as a second witness, but even in its misapplication, it's misunderstood.
Right.
Okay. And
what
so
the chapter is about.
What the chapter is about.
Because we don't have to read the chapter. We can just get a little here and a little there.
Yeah. And so what I want to do is I just want to take some time. I want to focus in on that and do exactly what you just said, is get some more context.
All right.
Right, because that's exactly how how we're shown and told to go through, is to read and to get context, and not just go here a little, there a little. So can we jump in and do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
What
you want to do?
Yeah, let's open right up to Isaiah chapter 8, and as always, let's start at just taking the snip. You know what? I'll do a little better than just one verse. Let's start at verse 16.
Verse 16.
Let's read verse 16 and read it through 20, and then just kind of talk about how it's applied, which we mostly know, but we'll set that up as well. Okay. And then let's just go back and take a few minutes and get more context.
All right, yeah. So we can understand what he's really saying.
All right, let's do that then.
Okay, so this is Isaiah chapter 8, verse 16.
Yes.
It says, "Bind up the testimony and seal the law among my disciples.
Right.
And I will wait upon the Lord, to hide his face from the house of Jacob, and I will look for him. Behold, I and the children whom the Lord hath given me are for signs and wonders in Israel, from the Lord of hosts, which dwelleth in Mount Zion.
Yes.
And when they shall say unto you, seek ye them that have familiar spirits, and unto wizards that peep and that mutter, shall not a people seek unto their God? For the living to the dead.
For the living to the dead.
To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them."
There's no light in them.
No light in them.
And that's exactly what I wanted to get to.
Right.
Verse 20. To the law
and the testimony.
And to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. And I wanted to start at verse 16 because, this is kind of packaged up together. I told you about that precept packet.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
This is packaged up together, that you bind up the testimony and seal the law among thy disciples. And that's, by the way, that's the setup to say this is how it pushes into the New Testament. And so the premise here is that the testimony is referring to what we know as the New Testament. right? And so
Okay.
as a part of here a little, there a little, this is added and packaged to that to say you go from the old covenant, Old Testament to the New Testament. And he's saying this because we have the words "my disciples" in there. We know Christ had disciples as well.
So it just means students.
See,
they ain't talking about the actual apostles, but just means students.
Right. But so okay, you see, y'all already throwing the grenade over the wall and busting my party up.
Right, my fault.
That's okay. See, that's how sick of it you are already.
Right. Yeah,
that don't even mean that. Right, so it's already packaged up as bind up the testimony or seal up the New Testament among my disciples, and I'll wait on the Lord. And then, again, to the law and to the testimony. If you don't speak according to the old covenant and the new covenant, then there's no light or no truth in that person.
Right.
Now, that sounds good.
It sounds real good.
It sounds good.
Oh yeah, I can deal with it.
And we teach that the new what we know as the New Testament is the fulfilling of the old covenant, right? So we don't have a problem from that perspective.
Right.
But is that the second witness to hear a little, there a little?
No.
It
can't be, because you know what? I didn't think to pull the scripture right now, but I can almost quote it. It says, "The prophets are subject to the prophets."
The spirit of prophet subject unto the prophets.
Right. Yeah. Meaning Isaiah is subject to Jeremiah and so forth. So they talked about similar things. It doesn't. So they would have to all agree with one another.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
you can't contradict. Exactly. One prophet can't contradict the other. Yeah. That's right on time.
Okay.
That's right on time. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Yep. Yeah, so the spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets, meaning you just can't come in speaking on your own accord.
Isaiah can't be his own witness. Because we need to have somebody that we can believe besides Isaiah, especially if we don't understand them.
Yeah. So let's start to unravel this, right? Because what we're putting on the table in this downloaded doctrine update is that's not talking about that. This is merely just talking about what Pastor was just saying, is that this goes from the law to the rest of the law, or the law and the prophets.
So let me ask you this, since you said that, because this will help them understand too.
Yeah.
If Isaiah was giving this instruction or talking about the people during his generation, which would be a reason for him to be born in this time, what would this mean for them? What New Testament would they have?
Yeah, I mean, when you start to say something like that, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
No, so you're asking the question saying, would Isaiah be talking to people that would listen to what he's saying and be telling them, hey, you got to teach from Moses to what Paul is saying?
Right.
I'm going to bind it up. I know it's not, y'all don't know who I'm talking about yet,
right?
But y'all don't even know the Messiah. We know the Messiah is coming, but you got to wait, and you got to go from the law to the testimony.
Right.
Yeah, that wouldn't be beneficial for them.
No.
That don't even make sense.
No.
That's so again, I like how you ask questions. You just ask those, just think about it questions.
Yeah, just think about it.
Just think about it.
What would they have that he could reference?
Right.
That would probably be more fitting, for this understanding.
Yeah. That's good. So the other thing we want to do, so let's unravel this. That's a great start. Just ask the question. Is Isaiah really telling the people listening to him, hey, wait till the New Testament comes, and in order for you to identify who's telling the truth, then you gotta put it together like that? Yeah, okay. But let's go back. Let's start at verse 1. Let's get context. And that's what we did in the Isaiah 28 lesson as well. We just started to get context. Right. And context is what's going to help us. And as we'll find, as we start through this 8th chapter, we're going to have to go back to the 7th chapter.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and get a little historical context that when we get to the 20th verse, when we get to the 16th verse, then it'll start to make a little more sense. So let's start at verse 1 in Isaiah the 8th chapter. Let's see what we can peel apart here.
Okay.
All right.
So chapter 8, verse 1.
Yes,
moreover, the Lord said unto me, take thee a great roll and write in it with a man's pen concerning Mahashalah Hashbaz. And I took unto me faithful witnesses to record Uriah the priest, Zechariah the son of Jerebekiah, and I went unto the prophetess, and she conceived and bare a son.
Yes.
Then said the Lord to me. Call his name Mahashala Hashbaz.
Yeah, that's a. By the way, that was a really good pronunciation of it.
Yeah, I used to be.
I would have been like,
yeah, no, I learned the trick. You know, last time you stoned me on them names, but I learned the trick. You know,
yeah,
read it with your chest and with a little speed, and if it sound kind of sort of close,
we gonna roll with
oh,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that's good. Now this is important though, right? So let's key them back in, because in the 7th chapter, Isaiah was also told about a son and given a name. We'll have to go back and look at that. But in the 8th chapter, now we've got another son. Right? And so he's named the son. But look what he talks about from a time demarcation standpoint. This is helping us put historical context to what he's about to say. So he has a son. Now watch what is told Isaiah in verse 4.
Okay, verse 4.
Yeah.
For before the child shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Assyria.
Now what in the world is going on here?
The king of Assyria. I was gonna say something, but I'm a chill. So, you know, the king of Samaria and the king of Assyria is in league or forming a union against the king of Jerusalem.
Okay. That's interesting that you got all that historical knowledge. Let's assume that people don't know,
if he
don't have
know,
that historical knowledge.
So
what can we deduce just from the flat reading of this in verse 4?
It's a child is gonna be born, you know, and before the child is old enough, basically, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Samaria. It's going to be a war.
It's going to be a war. There's a coming war, and it's coming soon, by the way, because the demarcation point is that the child is not going to be old enough really to have a lot of knowledge.
You can say it like this.
The
child that's to be born to Isaiah the prophet or in Israel is to be a sign.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sign, but to tell you about the war and the spoils that Samaria gonna lose.
Yeah, and which king is coming to do it? He just said it, but
Assyria.
The Assyrian king. Now here's what's interesting. This ties right into Isaiah 28 about woe to the crowd of Ephraim, that the Assyrians was going to come and take them down, right? Because they were scoffing at the knowledge or scoffing at the stuff that Isaiah has been saying this whole time about them amending their ways, so about them keeping the law. Go ahead.
So it is time referenced.
It's definitely time referenced.
And if we take verse 20, like you said, we're going to go outside that time reference.
Oh, we going to violate all the boundaries of it.
Well, let's go ahead and violate it.
Yeah, we going to violate it.
They've been doing it anyway.
Yeah. So check this out. Let's keep going from verse 5, and let's put some more context on this. What does it say?
The Lord spake also to me again, saying, for as much as this people refuse at the waters of Shiloah, they go softly and rejoice and reason in Remaliah's son. Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up upon them the waters of the rivers strong and many, even the king of Assyria in all his glory. And he shall come up over all his channels and go over all his banks. And he shall pass through Judah.
So hold on. I want to take this real slow so that the people can follow along with us. Right?
Okay.
Because some of this stuff, we read it and we can't place it.
Yeah, we put it in the junk pile.
Yeah, we just read it and we read. And what it allows for us to do is conflate this with, Isaiah's prophesying about our day. So let's take this and in a little bite size right here, right?
Okay.
So verse 6, you mentioned, for this people refuses the waters of Shiloah. They go softly. They rejoice in Rezin.
Yes.
And Remaliah's son.
Yeah.
Now, if you just started here, you don't know what's in Rezin and Remaliah's son.
You know what? It ain't important. Let's just keep.
No. Because
this is how we do.
That's exactly how we do, right? It's just a name. It's just a person.
Yeah. Let's keep going and you understand.
We're gonna push pause here because we want to know who is in Rezin and who is Remaliah's son. All right, so let's go back to the 7th chapter.
Okay.
And we're going to start at verse 1 in the 7th chapter.
Right.
So this is kind of how you do Bible study.
Yeah, because some would call it stalling.
Right.
They say you really don't know what you're talking about.
You don't know.
Taking long to get to the point.
Yeah. I'm just asking. I just want to know about verse 4.
Yeah, we're trying to provoke understanding. Okay, I got you.
So let's go back to 7.
Chapter
And
7.
we want to know what's in Rezin and who Remaliah's son is.
Okay.
And this is, by the way, you should write this down
Which
or
is
lock
for the
this in
reason.
your cabinet. And then this will help us as we go through history. So let's go. 7 and 1.
Okay, and it came to pass in the days of Ahaz, the son of Jotham, the son of Uzziah, king of Judah, that Rezin, the son of Syria.
No. Okay, so y'all write that down. That Rezin, we wanted to find out who's in Rezin.
Right,
Rezin,
right.
the who?
Son of Syria.
I got the king of Syria.
Oh, the king of Syria.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Son of the king of Syria.
Yep.
And Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel.
So hold on. So in the 8th chapter, in verse 4, right? Let's just make sure. It says, "For as much as this people refuse the waters of Shiloh,
You want to write it down?
that go." Oh, that's a great idea. We got this instrument, this tool right here, right? For as much as this people they refuse, they rejoice.
Not in the waters of Shiloh.
But who are they rejoicing? They're rejoicing in Rezin and
Remaliah's son.
yeah. Let me get more action. Remaliah's son. So the people aren't rejoicing in Shiloh, but they're rejoicing in Rezin.
The king of Syria.
Yes. And who? We back at 7 and 1. Yep.
Pekah, the son of Remaliah.
So now we've got Rezin, who is the king of Syria. And then we've got Pekah,
son of...
that's Remaliah's son.
Yeah, king of Israel.
He's the king of Israel. Now this is interesting because now we're identifying what's going on. And see, now we see how chapter 8 and chapter 7 are connected.
Pekah.
Because in order to identify who they're talking about in chapter 8, I have to identify them in chapter 7, right? And we got Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel.
So Remaliah is the king of Israel.
Yep.
Not Pekah.
Now watch this. Okay. Watch this. Watch how we play this out, right?
Yeah.
They're rejoicing in those two. Yeah. And Remaliah is the king of Israel. Right. Now Pekah
is his son.
Right. And historically, Pekah is going to ambush the king. And he's going to take over. But we have to look at all of this. We have to understand historically how and why all of this is important.
Right.
We gloss over all this stuff. Right? So let's finish verse 1 and then read verse 2 as well.
King of Israel. Okay. Went up toward Jerusalem to war against it.
Yes.
But could not prevail against it.
Yep. So they went up, these two, what did you say earlier?
Confederate.
They were Confederate and they went up against Jerusalem.
Yeah, and they wasn't successful.
Now, why is Syria and Israel, the house of Israel, trying to go up against Jerusalem? How are they making a league or a pact or confederacy?
Right.
Now let's read a little more in this chapter 7 then.
And it was told the house of David, saying,
which is Jerusalem, which is the southern kingdom, Judah, the house of David.
Syria is confederate with Ephraim.
It's confederate with who?
With Ephraim.
So now, we're going to connect this back even to the last lesson. Ephraim is the northern tribe or the house of Israel.
Yeah.
And Syria is confederate with Ephraim.
Right.
Go ahead.
And his heart was moved in the heart of his people as the trees of the wood are moved with the wind.
So this caused the people's heart to be afraid or to be moved and be swayed.
Right.
Again, this is important because now we're going to connect this back to chapter 8. Let's read it through. Let's read it through 7 here before we go back.
Then said the Lord unto Isaiah, Go forth now to meet Ahaz, thou and Joshua, thy son, at the end of the conduit of the upper pool in the highway of the fuller's field.
Yes.
And say unto him, Take heed and be quiet. Fear not, neither be faint-hearted, for the two tails of these smoking firebrands, for the fierce anger of reason with Syria and the son of Remaliah.
Yeah. So now Isaiah is sent to Ahaz, who is the king of Judah. You go back and reference verse 1. Because these other two kings, Syria and Israel came up against them. So Isaiah is sent to Ahaz to meet and tell him to take heed and be quiet and don't fear.
Yeah, don't be afraid. Yeah.
Don't be afraid, right?
Still, yeah.
Because the anger of Rezin and the son of Remaliah. Now, let's just keep reading some of this. Verse 5.
Because Syria, Ephraim, and the son of Remaliah have taken evil counsel against thee, saying, let us go up against Judah and vex it, and let us make a breach therein for us, and set a king in the midst of it, even the son of Tabeel.
Yeah, so they're going to turn over Ahaz, and they're going to place a king who they've already identified as the king of Judah.
Right.
They were confederate in doing this.
Yeah, they're colonizing it.
Yeah.
They colonized Judah. Yeah.
Go ahead. I said 6, but let's just keep going.
Okay, thus saith the Lord, it shall not stand.
So their confederacy shall come to naught. So Isaiah is sent to comfort Ahaz.
Right.
Go ahead.
Neither shall it come to pass.
It won't happen. Go ahead.
For the head of Syria is Damascus.
Yes.
And the head of Damascus is Rezin.
Yes.
And within 65 years shall Ephraim be broken, that it be not a people.
Now this is deep.
It's finna start getting.
This is deep.
Yeah.
This connects so many other things. But we're in the place of my people, they're not my people. It connects in the New Testament. It connects so many different things.
Right.
But this is what Isaiah, in the 28th chapter, he's saying is going to happen to Ephraim.
Right.
It's been prophesied. He's saying this over and over and over.
It's too much work to read from chapter 7 or 8 to 28.
Oh, that's a lot of work.
It's easier to just get a little bit here. It's go way faster. Look, this before computers. If we could just get a little here and a little there, we can get this understanding much quicker.
Yeah. We could, right?
Some understanding.
But this is really how we get knowledge and understanding. Seek ye out the book of the Lord and do what? What do we got to do?
We got to
seek out the book of the Lord and read. Yeah, we got to read.
All about getting get understanding. Yeah, we got to read in order to get understanding.
Yep. So now we started in chapter 8, but we had to backtrack in order to fill in the gaps and say, all right, who is this talking about, and why are they talking like this?
Right.
Where are we, Pastor?
We on 9, I believe.
Let's read 9 as well.
And the head of Ephraim is Samaria.
Yes.
And the head of Samaria is Remaliah's son.
Yeah, and that's Pekah.
Right. If you would not believe, surely you shall not be established.
Yes.
So that's for Judah.
Yep.
Moreover, the Lord spake unto Ahaz, saying, ask thee a sign of the Lord thy God. Ask either in the depth or in the height above.
Yes.
But Ahaz said, I will not ask. Neither will I tempt the Lord.
Yeah, Ahaz was like, nah, I ain't going there. But watch what he say.
And he said, Hear ye now, O house of David.
Yes.
Is it a small thing for thee to weary men? But will ye weary my God also?
Go ahead.
Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign.
Yes.
Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son.
Yes.
And shall call his name Emmanuel.
And shall call his name what?
Emmanuel.
Now we know that the entirety of the scripture, that Yeshua said, search the scriptures for them you think you have eternal life, but they are they that testify of what?
Me. Yeah.
So we know we can find Yeshua in all the scriptures. If we look hard enough, we can find him in every story, whether it's Abraham and his son, whether it's Joseph. We can find a type of Christ and we can see that it's all pointing. This is a similar circumstance.
Yes.
Well, this is talking about a real son that was going to be called Emmanuel.
Yeah.
Right? And we can see Christ and the meaning and purpose of this in here. But here's a son.
Yeah.
Right? Now, in the 8th chapter, there was another son.
Right.
Now, let's keep reading here.
Because this son, the purpose is the meaning of his name.
Which is what?
He's trying to establish Judah, even though those two kings are coming against him. And he want them to have confidence that God is going to be with you. So he because remember, the scripture was saying the children you offer signs. But anyway,
we got to get there.
Yeah, we got to get there. Yeah.
We got to get there.
Because you need to hurry up, because we can go a little here
and
get there.
I get excited when the Lord bring out knowledge like that.
Right.
Because that's the intent and purpose of the scripture.
Right.
Right. That's good.
Okay.
Where are we?
We on
15.
15. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and to choose the good.
Yes.
For before the child shall know to refuse the evil and to choose the good, the land that thou abhorrest shall be forsaken of both her kings.
Yeah. So he tell Ahaz, Judah, the land you abhors shall be forsaken of both her kings. He's talking about Syria. He's talking about Samaria.
Right. Them two,
or Ephraim.
Right.
The house of Israel.
The two that was in confederate with each other.
So when we get to the 8th chapter and the other son, he's saying the same thing. And before the child can grow to get knowledge, hey, I'm coming.
They're a sign.
I'm going to, because they're a
the Lord
sign.
Is Emmanuel, he with you. Yeah. Because this is the fulfillment is coming to pass.
Yes. You know what? So let's go back to verse 6 in chapter 8.
6 in chapter 8.
Yeah. Take your time. Go read through the rest of that. Maybe we might have to jump back into chapter 7. Yeah. But I wanted to go back there. Matter of fact, let's pick it back up at verse 4.
On chapter 8?
Yeah, in chapter 8, verse 4. Because we're still getting the context.
Okay, so for before the child shall have knowledge to cry, my father and my mother, the riches of Damascus and the spoil of Samaria shall be taken away before the king of Assyria.
Yeah, that's the same thing that was said in chapter 7.
Well, we just left off.
Yes, go ahead.
The Lord spake also unto me again, saying, for as much as this people refuseth the waters of Shiloah, they goeth softly and rejoice in reason and Remaliah's son. Now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth up upon them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria in all his glory, and he shall come up over all his channels and go over all his banks.
I got to throw this in just because this ties into the last lesson. So can I take this this dirt road for a second? We'll jump right here. Go back to Isaiah the 28th chapter, and I just want you to read verse 1 and 2 here.
Right? Do it now? Okay.
Yeah. Let's read it right now, because he talked about Rezin and Remaliah's son. He talked about the king of Assyria coming. And then you just read in verse 7, now therefore, behold, the Lord bringeth upon them the waters of the river, strong and many, even the king of Assyria.
Even the king
so he called them waters, like flood water, strong and many.
Right.
Now read verse 1 and 2 in Isaiah 28.
Isaiah 28, 1 and 2?
Yes.
Woe to the crown of pride, to the drunkards of Ephraim, whose glorious beauty is a fading flower.
Yes.
Which are on the heads of the fat valleys of them that are overcome with wine.
Yeah, this is Ephraim, this is Pekah, this is Remaliah's son, this is that. What verse 2 say?
Behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowed, shall cast down to the earth with his hand.
Now who's taking Ephraim down?
Assyria.
Mighty
water.
And he told us right here in verse 7 that this mighty water, he's going to bring this is the flood.
Yes.
That's coming in chapter 8, verse 7.
Right. The destruction.
So when we know that Isaiah in the 28th chapter, this is the same message over and over.
Yeah.
Yep. It's over and over.
No doubt.
So now let's go back to, I just wanted to take that. Let's jump right back on the highway and shift back in the fifth gear for a second. Let's go back to chapter 8. Let's pick it back up at verse 8. Maybe we'll get through this.
We will.
I hope so.
Okay. Chapter 8, verse 8.
Yes,
Isaiah. Sir. And it shall come to pass through Judah. And he shall pass through Judah. He shall overflow and go over. He shall reach even to the neck. And the stretching out of his wings shall fill the breadth of the land, O Emmanuel.
Yep. So he's coming, but he's not gonna take Judah. But he gonna take them too.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Associate yourself, O ye people, and ye be broken in pieces.
Yep.
And ye shall be broken in pieces, and give ear. All ye of far country, gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces. Gird yourselves, and ye shall be broken in pieces.
Yes. So he's saying, if you make yourself confederate and associate yourself with them, prepare war.
Yeah.
You're gonna be broken in pieces.
All right, get up.
Go ahead.
Take counsel together, and it shall come to naught.
Take counsel together.
Right.
You said they were confederate.
Right.
We just read that in chapter 7.
Right.
That they came and take counsel together, but it was not. Isaiah came to Ahaz.
Your counsel shall come to nothing, which is what this is saying.
Go ahead, Pastor.
The Lord is like taunting them. And it shall not stand, for God is with us. That's Emmanuel.
Yes, for God. That's the name of the Son.
Right.
It's sent for a sign. Go ahead.
For the Lord spake thus to me with a strong hand, and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people, saying.
Now, verse 11 is important for context, right? He instructed me that I should not
walk in the way of this people.
That should be should somewhere there. Should not walk. Tell it to me again. In the way
of this people. Saying a confederacy
of this people. Or in other words, I shouldn't follow this people.
Yeah, don't agree. Don't come into.
Now, if I'm following somebody, it's like what? This word right here.
They teach me or lead me.
Yeah. It's like I'm a disciple. I'm a follower of these people.
Right.
Don't be a disciple or walk in the way of these people.
Right.
Now this is important.
Yes.
Right? This is important. I'm instructed not to walk in the way of this people. Saying what?
Say ye not a confederacy to all them to whom this people shall say a confederacy. Neither fear ye their fear, nor be afraid.
Now, who was the Confederacy? You said it earlier. We read it in chapter 7.
It was against Ephraim. I mean, with Ephraim and Syria.
Yeah. They had a confederacy.
Yeah.
And he told Ahaz, don't fear them.
Right.
Go ahead.
Don't them, don't fear them. Yeah. Don't be a disciple of. Okay. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself. That's the law. That's the law.
Go.
Right. That's what the law says. Don't make a covenant.
So, set apart, sanctify.
Yeah. God only. Yeah,
God only. That's good.
The God of Israel only. Yeah. Okay. Sanctify the Lord of hosts himself, and let him be your fear.
Yes.
And let him be your dread.
Don't fear them, fear the Lord. Yes.
Right. And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both houses of Israel.
Yes.
For a gin and a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Yes.
And many among them shall stumble and fall.
Yes.
And be broken.
Yes.
And be snared.
And what?
And be taken.
Now this is interesting, right? I gotta
go back to 28.
Pastor, you're reading my mind.
Right, yeah.
You're reading my mind.
Yeah, you gotta get that.
So Isaiah is trying to teach the people knowledge here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's trying to drop knowledge. He's trying to teach them that.
Yep.
And they are going to reject it. Now, I want you, Isaiah, I just want you to, this is verse 12. Let's read verse 12, 13, and 14.
Okay.
Let's read
12.
Let's read 12 and 13.
Okay, this is Isaiah 28.
And let's see if we can connect this back to anything that Isaiah had already said.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
To whom he said, this is the rest wherewith ye may cause the weary to rest.
Yes.
And this is the refreshing, yet they would not hear.
Now, in chapter 8, verse 7, he talked about the people bringing them to the, verse 6, for as much as this people refuse the waters of Shiloh.
Yeah.
These people are rejecting the peace and the rest.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? And much as they refuse it, he was saying, this is the rest, which he calls the weary rest.
Yes.
But they would not what?
They're not going to hear. They're not going to listen.
And then what?
Not going to take heed.
Yes.
So verse 13.
Yes, sir.
But the word of the Lord was unto them precept upon precept. Precept upon precept.
Yes.
Line upon line.
Come on.
Line upon line.
Yes.
Here a little and there a little.
And that what?
That they might go and fall backward and be broken and be snared and be taken.
No way.
Yes.
So this precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, was giving them cause because they was rejecting the knowledge. They were offended.
Yeah. That
they might be broken and ensnared and fall away backwards by this flood and be taken.
Yeah.
By the Assyrians. This sounds like
this was the
the
knowledge. They rejecting the knowledge that the Lord already had given them within the covenant.
Talk some more about
that.
The
law. They rejected the law, like what he was doing. When they say when Ephraim made a confederacy with the king of Syria.
Yes.
The Lord told Israel, don't make no leagues
with
any of them other. He told them that in the law.
So what was going to happen if they did that, though?
Basically, they're going to be curses. Yeah, they're going to be taken, snared, broken. Is exactly what Isaiah is saying here.
So they were drunk with this new wine.
Isaiah kind of, broke it down a little bit and I guess made it easier for them to understand in their vernacular.
Yeah. So we had to push pause. We had to jump off this exit. Let's go back to the 8th chapter. Let's see. So
we had verse 12. No. 14. We just read 14.
We read 14.
No, we just read 15.
We read 15.
Okay.
Now, we started here. We're back at verse 16.
Okay.
Before we get to verse 16, I want to pause.
Okay.
I want to show you something because this played out exactly how it said it was going to play out. Let's put a marker here and let's go to 2 Kings, the 15th chapter. And we'll jump right to it. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 15.
Oh, yeah.
If I can get to it, if I can find it. Okay.
Kings 15.
All right.
Yeah.
2 Kings 15. And Let's start at verse 23.
Verse 23.
2 Kings 15 and 23. And I want to read this because we went back to chapter 7 and we put some pieces together. Let's see how it played out in history. Go ahead.
In the 15th year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekahiah, the son of Mahanaim, began to reign over Israel and Samaria and reigned 2 years.
Yes.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
Yes.
But Pekah, the son of Remaliah.
Now, who is that?
Pekah, the son of Remaliah.
Now, Remaliah's son was Pekah.
A captain.
Yeah, he was a captain. Go ahead.
A captain of his conspired against him and smote him in Samaria.
So now,
in the palace of the king.
Now Pekah went up and he did a little, midnight murder.
Yeah, yeah.
A little midnight caper.
In the dark. Nobody gonna see this.
Now, okay. So he murdered him and then what?
The OJ. Yeah. I mean, sorry. He hit his hands. But anyway, the glove didn't fit. I mean, let's get on back to verse 25.
Start at the top of 25.
But Pekah, the son of Remaliah, a captain of his, conspired against him and smote him in Samaria, in the palace of the king's house, in Argob and Ariah, and with him 50 men of the Gileadites.
Yeah.
And he killed him and reigned in his room.
And he killed him and did what?
Reigned in his room.
Now
place.
Now this is how
the king of
this is how Pekah come up.
Yeah, he dirty boy dirty.
Yeah. You know, he said all I need. You know what? Let's keep going.
And the rest of the acts of Pekahiah and all that he did, behold, they are written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel.
Now, keep going though. I want you to keep going here.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you something came to your mind?
Nah, I just had to switch
okay.
page.
Go ahead.
In the 52nd year of Azariah, king of Judah, Pekah, the son of Remaliah, began to reign over Israel and Samaria, and reigned 20 years.
Yeah.
And he did that which was evil in the sight of the Lord. He departed not from the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, who made Israel to sin.
Yes, go ahead.
In the days of Pekah, king of Israel, came Tiglath-Pileser, the king of Assyria, and took Ijon and Abel-Beth-Machiah and Janoah and Kadesh and Hazor and Gilead and Galilee, all the land of Naphtali, and carried them captive to Assyria.
Wait, so just like that.
Yeah.
We are so this is how we piece together history.
Yeah.
Now Isaiah,
mystery for sure.
Yeah, it's all the mystery. So Isaiah was prophesying that this was gonna, and he said that the king of Assyria, now Tiglath-Pileser, right?
That's the king of Assyria.
That's the king of Assyria.
Right.
He came after Pekah, and he took and you know what? They were snared and followed away backwards and taken.
Yeah.
Right?
He took them. Yeah.
So I wanted to push pause here to say this is how Isaiah 7 and Isaiah 8 are playing out. We can read it in the Chronicles of the King, in the history of the kings.
See, but this way take too much work.
It take way too much work. They wanted me to get to the point
microwave
within the first 5 minutes of this, right?
Or else you don't know what you're talking about.
Or else you don't know. You just delaying. You stall, stall tactic. A little 52 fake guy.
Right, but that's our problem.
Yep.
That's why our understanding is limited.
Yeah, so let's go back to Isaiah chapter 8, and let's read verse 15 again and read into verse 16 so that we can get some understanding of where we started.
Right.
Go ahead.
So verse 15,
yes.
Isaiah 8.
Yes.
And many among them shall stumble and fall and be broken and be snared and be taken.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, right? So this was prophecy.
Right.
That this was going to happen.
Right. Bind up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples.
Now, this is interesting, right?
Yeah.
Because in the 11th verse, the Lord spake thus unto me with a strong hand and instructed me that I should not walk in the way of this people.
Yes.
But essentially, I should walk in the way of the Lord.
Yeah, which is
the law, right?
Which is opposite from verse 19.
Now, so he's saying, in this case, the instructions for the people that are not going to listen,
it's going to follow me, right?
They seal the law. Only give that to the people that's going to follow me.
Yeah, my people, yeah.
This is all he's saying.
My disciples, yeah.
Because they're going to reject knowledge, so therefore, they're not going to see it. They're going to be veiled. They're going to be blinded.
Yeah.
He's not talking about the apostles that followed Christ.
Peter now.
He's just saying the ones who are going to follow me are going to follow me, because I should not walk in the way of I shouldn't follow those people, but I should be following the Lord.
Yeah.
I have disciples.
Right.
And anybody who was following what Isaiah was teaching or the prophets were teaching was a disciple.
Yes.
Right?
These words can be used more than one way and stretch for the period of history all throughout the Bible.
Yeah.
I got you.
So, and it's interesting that you say that.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we actually just do some word study, we'll see that the word testimony, you know what, let's...
No, you shout out there now.
Should we shout out there?
Around with, gotta let them know what's up.
Yeah, you know what, let me give you an example.
All right, bless my game.
To the law and to the testimony. Here's how the word now, there's different Hebraic usage of the word in Strong's. Right. The word testimony is used in 3 or 4 different ways throughout the scripture. It could be used as an attestation, like a witness. It could be used as in the instructions. Yeah. It can be used as a stipulation or rule. Yeah. And so there's different ways, and if you know the etymology of a word, right? If you know the etymology of a word, then you can go and apply it properly.
Apply it the right way, yeah.
Right? But let's go get an example.
So it could be like virgin. It could have more than one meaning.
It could be like love. That's an even simpler one.
Yeah, right.
Right? You know, there's different when you see the word love in the scripture, the etymology of the word determines the context of it. Right. Whether it's agape love or eros or brother phileo type love. Yeah. It depends. Right. Right? But we shun that type of knowledge.
Yeah. Still because it takes too long.
And it doesn't apply to our context. Right. Right? So let's go look at one example. Let's hold it right here then.
One example of testimony.
Just one example of testimony. Okay. Yeah. Maybe 2.
Okay.
Maybe 3 or 4.
Right.
Go back to Deuteronomy, the 4th chapter.
To the law.
And to the testimony.
Oh, man.
But we going to the law.
Okay.
And to the testimony.
Deuteronomy, you said what 4?
Deuteronomy 4.
Okay.
Let me not prolong it because let's jump right down to it.
Okay.
I want to, give me 44. Deuteronomy 4 and 44. To the law and to the testimony.
Deuteronomy 44.
Yes, sir.
And this is the law which Moses set before the children of Israel.
Keep running.
These are the testimonies.
These are the what?
These are the testimonies.
Go ahead.
These are the testimonies and the statutes and the judgments which Moses spake unto the children of Israel after they came forth out of Egypt. So this is way before Isaiah.
And so in this case, if I ignored etymology and I just looked at the English translation of the word testimony, I could see right here law and testimony.
Yeah.
This is the law, and these are the testimonies and the judgment and the statutes, right, and
which give witness to the law.
And so it would also teach or instruct you
out of the law, yeah,
that you should follow the right way.
Yeah, leading out. Yeah.
I can say we going from the law to the testimony.
Yeah, right.
Can you think of any where we see law and testimony?
My mind is drawing a blank right now.
Okay.
But I know you got
There's quite a few.
Yeah, it's a lot of them.
Listen, there's one in Psalms.
19.
See, let's go to Psalm 19 before we make our way back to Isaiah.
Yeah, that was before Isaiah too, wasn't it?
Let's go to Psalm 19.
Yeah.
We could have run Deuteronomy 25, Deuteronomy 30.
Oh, that is 25 is a testimony. The loose shooting. Huh?
It's instruction. It's a testimony.
Man, you better know that one before you get your face spit in.
See, the people that don't know the law, though, they thought you was just talking reckless to me, right? But you was giving you got to know the instructions.
Yeah, that's what the instruction of the law says.
Let's jump right down to this one. Where we going?
Is it verse 7?
Let's look at verse 7. Yeah. What's it?
Verse 7 says, "The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple."
Wait.
The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoice in the heart. Yeah.
Law and the testimony right here?
Before Isaiah.
Wait,
David.
But is this before the disciples?
It says a psalm of David. David.
Let's go back to Isaiah.
David about 300 years before Isaiah.
Yeah. Let's go back up to verse 16 in Isaiah 8 because I still want to get to because the proper usage of the word testimony, those are just examples where you see law and testimony.
When you read this stuff in proper it's not even kind of close.
It's not even kind of close.
Nah. It's almost embarrassing to realize that this is what I've been reading.
This
You know?
and this is
Or
how
this
I've been
is what I've
applying
been
and interpreting.
understanding.
Yeah.
And I can speak that for myself. I know people think that we always jumping down for other people, but
Oh, this was
stuff
our
comes-
interpretation of it.
Right.
Yeah, this was our interpretation of it.
Right.
We got caught red-handed
It's
with our hand in the
embarrassing,
cookie jar.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
go-
verse 16.
Yes,
Bind
sir.
up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples.
Yes.
I will wait upon the Lord that hide his face from the house of Jacob, and I will wait and I will look for him.
Yeah, I'm going to stay close to the wall. Right. Until the Most High give relief.
Right.
Go ahead.
Behold, I and the children whom the Lord have given me are for signs.
Wait, didn't you talk about that earlier, Pastor?
Yeah.
The children are for what?
Signs
Come on, man.
and wonders.
Yes.
In Israel from the Lord of hosts,
Yes.
which dwelleth in Zion, Mount Zion.
And so when they do what?
And when they shall say unto you, seek unto them that have familiar spirits, and unto the wizards and that peep and that mutter, should not a people seek unto their God for the living to the dead?
Yeah. So when they come to you, right, back at verse 11, and they say, hey, walk in the way of this people, do what seek the way for these. No, you know what the law says?
What does it say?
You shall not seek familiar spirits.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're a disciple of the prophets, then you would be able to follow and bind it up and to follow the right way. Right? So this is what was going on. Do we need to go find that in the law?
Well, no, they get it.
They get it. Okay. All right. Because sometimes everybody want to yell book, chapter, and verse and be real strong. But anyway, so in that context, right, he's telling them, no, bind up the testimony. Go back to the instructions. The instructions are, don't seek to familiar spirits. Right?
But he did give them a sign.
But he gave them a sign.
This is things that unbelievers do. Unbelievers seek for a sign, as the scriptures say. But the sign that he gave them in Israel, so it's going to come from within Israel, children. Like when he gave all of the 12 patriarchs, all of them had different names. Their names all meant something, which is kind of what he was getting to. Even Abraham. He said, look up in the stars if you can tell them. Those are the signs of heaven, the sands of the sea.
Yes.
He said, this is how many of your children, if you can count them, this is how many of your children are going to be.
Giving that sign.
Yeah. So that's one thing he's always done.
Yes.
Named Judah. Mean praise. You know, so it's hidden meanings in the name.
Yeah.
For those who follow the Lord and grab the breadcrumbs, that's what kind of what he's telling.
That's what he's telling them.
This is something that you can follow while other people are going to be seeking familiar spirits. Because everybody's trying to find the answer from God. Yeah. Like when Saul messed up and he was looking for a sign. And God stopped answering him. What did he do? He saw the familiar spirit. Yep. So he looking for Samuel. Samuel was dead and gone. Right. So he got caught up. Even went back to a witch. The witch and so nothing's good gonna come out of that. But you know, the Lord is telling they should be able to recant all this. Yeah. Because all this stuff happened before their time, and he gave them examples. That's what he gave them law. He gave them signs and wonders, and that's what he's telling them to think back on and follow the path that's been laid. Right. Yeah. Right. So it's deep. It's definitely deep. Let's look at verse 20 now that we've come to it. Yeah. Let's look at verse 20, and I really want to put the proper etymology to this. Here in a second. To the law, and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Yeah, there's no light in them. So he's telling the people that basically the law and the prophets. Yes. And they had prophets before Isaiah, so they had those prophets to lean on. Yeah. The law, the testimony of the law, or the law and the prophets. Yes. Just like he told them, hey, you shouldn't be seeking to familiar spirits. Right. The law tells you that. Right. And so if the people are not telling you what the law or the prophet, because the spirit of prophets are subject to what? Subject to the prophets. Yeah. And so in that case, it's like Deuteronomy 13, then that's what it becomes. This is all he's telling you. Yeah. This is all he's telling you, that the attestation of the law, the stipulations of the law, that's what you need to go by if you're going to be a disciple of the Most High. Yes. Right? You're going to have knowledge and do that. You know what? I'm gonna skip that one. Let's go look at something
that Yeshua said.
Okay.
Let's go to Luke 16, and then we'll try to wrap. So I think
No, that's good. I mean,
let's go to Luke 16, because here's what's interesting, right? We try to make it sound as though Isaiah is trying to project thousands of years in the future and say, hey, you got to go from the Old Testament to the New Testament, and that's how you get the truth. Right. Now watch what Yeshua says.
Speaking of that, before we go here, the prophets, they had a job. They had a range, and I think it was in the book of John, he spoke about it. He said the prophets, they prophesied unto
John. The law and the prophets prophesied unto John.
Yeah, exactly. So this will be the time period that it will be good for, the prophesying, the prophecies, when they would be good for, up until John. Now, after John, he said, we got something else now.
Yeah.
The Son speaking now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But we still letting the prophets dictate to us things that are not going to come to pass in our day because they've already happened.
They've already happened. They've already been fulfilled.
Right.
But see, in understanding how that plays out, understanding how that works together. Most people don't understand the law and the prophets prophesied until John.
No.
Hey, you can go on our channel and you can go find Pastor Al's lesson about the law and the prophets prophesied until John.
That's their time, yeah. Even apostles backdoored it.
Yeah.
They asked the question, who was the prophets talking about? They said they prophesied about these days that we in. That's what the apostles, the days that they were in, or the days which will match. Which will match the prophets prophesied unto John.
Yeah.
I mean, it's deep, but it's there.
Yeah, but trying to say that Isaiah would tell people in his day to wait until years later.
It's past us.
Yeah, past us. Yeah,
the Lord,
yeah.
Like, listen to my son now. That's the. But anyway.
Yeah.
I'm Luke 16.
Luke 16.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's verse 16.
Let's grab that.
Verse 16.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that it? Okay.
Yep.
The law and the prophets were until John.
Yes.
Now, can you explain it to me?
You ain't gonna try to throw that out there and act like you ain't jump out. Go ahead.
I didn't even realize it was right there, but because people act like they don't know what that means. That's
yeah.
What I was saying.
Go ahead.
But anyway, since that time, the kingdom of God is preached, and every man press it into it.
Now, give us a quick snip.
Of what?
What it mean?
Oh, it says the law and the prophets were until John. This is the time period that their prophecy covered.
Yes.
After John, it's Yeshua now.
Right.
Which is the kingdom, which is who we listen to now,
right.
Right. So it's for us, it will be from Yeshua to us. But for them, the nation of Israel, while they were a nation in their promised land under this covenant, which is they were bound to this covenant.
Right.
And these prophecies and everything that happened to them was pertaining to that covenant.
Right.
So
and certainly
governed by it.
In 756 BC or when that 800 BC, whenever Isaiah was writing this,
right,
he would be talking to them about their covenant, their information,
right,
and not projecting past 70 AD.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right. Where but watch what's interesting.
Okay.
Right. Watch how this is interesting.
Okay. Verse 17.
No, let's grab verse 25. I just want to jump down to this. Okay.
25.
Yeah, verse 25.
But Abraham said.
So there was the rich man and Lazarus. It started at verse 19, and essentially he's giving this story, this parable about the two men, the rich man and Lazarus, right? So, but now I want to jump right into this because I want to get very specific. But go ahead.
But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things.
Yes.
But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented.
Yeah, you're tormented.
Go besides ahead. All this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which will pass from hence to you cannot. Yeah. Neither can they pass to us that will come from thence.
Now watch what he says. Watch the request. Go ahead.
Then he said, I pray thee therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house.
Yeah. Why?
For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment.
Now send him to my 5 brothers that he may testify unto them.
Witness.
Yeah. That he'll be a witness. Now watch what is responded.
Abraham said unto him.
What did Abraham say?
They have Moses and the prophets.
Let them do what?
Hear them.
So wait. If Yeshua is giving this story about the rich man and Lazarus, why wouldn't Yeshua say they got the Old Testament and the New Testament because it's coming? Mm-hmm. Wait for them to hear that. The law and the testimony of the law is the law and the prophets.
Yes.
And if they speak not according to this, there is no truth. So now he's saying, hey, Abraham is giving him this parable to say, hey, the truth under this covenant is in the law and the testimony of the law, or the law and the prophets.
Yes.
And if they listen to that, then they can get life.
Right. And they will not come to a place of torment.
And they won't come to
They
won't come to a place of torment.
Yeah.
This is to the law and to the testimony, the law and the prophets.
Right.
They attest of the things that are written in
the
law.
Yep.
You know, Pastor, as we wrap up, I want to ask, is anything you want to add to this?
No, I think it's pretty clear, cut and dry. I mean, people, if we would just take our time and read the scriptures and study them like we study social media, we could get understanding.
Why you had to bring social media in this?
Because people don't have a problem reading posts.
Dang.
Yeah, people don't have a problem understanding social media things that's written. So if we could apply that same type of diligence to the scriptures, you know, we could get understanding.
Yeah.
But because you see, it takes a lot of work.
It takes some work to
shine light on, you know.
Dig this stuff out.
Right.
Dig this stuff out.
A workman. That's why they call it a workman.
Yeah.
So
it's
way different. I could say that the difference between here a little, there a little, and reading and studying it's a big difference. Right.
When we talk about to the law and to the testimony, brothers and sisters, this is not first of all, Isaiah is not his own witness.
No.
And secondly, this is not a second application of to the law and to the testimony, or here a little, there a little. That's not what it says.
It's private interpretation. When you.
It's terrible.
Oh, it's messed up.
And Charles Barkley word, that's terrible.
Yeah. Got it.
As we wrap, brothers and sisters, hey, we ask that you smash that like button, subscribe. That don't cost you a thing. If you want to support us, you can partner with us at thevineyardofisrael.com. You can do some offerings from that perspective. But the path of least resistance, you want to show your support, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video. If you want to ask us some questions, or if you disagree, hey, we love the discourse because we don't have it all figured out as well. We humble enough to say if we get something wrong, but we putting it out there so that you can patch in and update to get better understanding about the scripture, the word of God, and the kingdom of God.
Amen.
Yeah. I'm Brother Desmond.
I'm Pastor Al.
We are the Vineyard of Israel. Again, we ask that you, I'm going to say it again, smash that like button. Until next time.
Peace. Next time.